Top of the morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome back to What If Spider-Man Had Black Bolt's Powers, Part 2. So, where we left off, the Avengers are trying to stop Black Bolt's brother Maximus from using Spider-Man to do evil things. And and they see Spider-Man's trying to hold his sadness in, but his shock so bad was because of him. He says, "You're already too late. So let's shock him some more." As he starts using his powers. The Avengers are trying to do stop Maximus and Screamer. So Screaming Mimi says we need. Of course, she got hit in the head on the impact, but her head was still there. So she tells Black Bolt to order to overpower Spider Scream. He has to, or they have to combine their voices to do that stuff. So and Nick Fury is being Nick Fury. He's trying to kill off Spider Screamer, but the Tony Stark agrees with Black Bolt and Screaming Mimi. So they put their 3 long range attacks or Sonic's ones to actually hit Spider as Black Widow and her snuck around back with him behind Spider Screamer to grab that shot thing. He they manages to take it out of him, out of his neck, as he collapsed Because he didn't just have Black Bolt's powers. He has everyone's powers. He had was like all these superpowers. He has Gamma. He has everything. And yeah. Then he says, he did his part. When you guys were too busy using his, or trying to yank that thing out, I gave him a special quirk to, or special powers, or so he used it during the battle. As he used the Iron Fist just to like cause a sonic boom. See, when I combine, or should I say, when we combined his powers, or all of your powers into his body, we use our genetics inside of him. So basically, he has the Infinity Stones as powers, Wolverine's everybody's. So he bent reality to his will of Inhumans rule the world kind. Or he won. But his mind is, as he says, or he, in his head, he says, the hiss. I know that I do not want, probably Uncle Ben doesn't want to be revived. So as he does it again, or he gets up, as all the Avengers and Inhumans, even Screaming Mimi, and like everybody was locked in battle with against themselves for his amusement. As yeah. So Spider-Man is like, he used his sharp claws thing, as he used his power to revert everything back to normal. As yeah, he says, no, this shouldn't be happening. As yeah, Spider-Man and said, or Spider Screamer actually says one word: over. And yeah, he got flown all the way to where Hulk was at. Or like, or actually sent him flying to hit the building. As he looks at his hands, and as he looks at them, yeah, and yeah, he basically did. And so yeah, Nick Fury is like, yeah, furious at how Spider-Man. He wasn't mad at Spider-Man, but he was furious at the he basically at Maximus because yeah, he says you escaped a jail thing multiple times, so this is what we're gonna put you in. As yeah. So then it was a special prison. As Spider-Man looks at his hands, he doesn't say anything. As yeah. He basically or was similar, but Screaming Mimi was like walks over, or like skips over to Spider Screamer, and of course, the only person that really knew what she's gonna do was her. So she says, huh, let me guess. Of course, she actually wrapped her hands around him. And yeah, that surprised her. Like, they could, and the Avengers and humans, because they couldn't believe that the Spider-Man, or yeah. So Screaming Mimi says, "I know that you'll be cured, and from that, okay? Just please, he's no matter if you're Spider Screamer or Spider-Man, you always will be mine, okay?" So that's what he's saying to him. So, yeah. Even he knows that he can't speak, but he nods his head at her. As that, or she knows when he's trying to talk, but he. So, yeah. Nick Fury is like doing all that stuff. So, yeah, Screaming Mimi says, as long as I want to see him like every day, thing. As Nick Fury's like, okay, how about I know that how about do your time thing before? But before you do that, or after you do it, then we'll just make sure that will be Spider-Man, not the Spider Screamer. As he says, oh, the serum can't be reversed if once it gets inflicted. As yeah, he was stuck with the powers of like Black Bolt and all that stuff. Yeah. So because his genetic code got changed real fast. So you know what he did? When he was in the trying to do some hero work and family thing. Yeah. So his yeah. So his girlfriend, or Peter Parker's girlfriend, her, is jealous because she didn't know that sometimes he has those crushes things. So yeah, but she also knew that it was him against his own teammates. So yeah, his body, or he was in the lab trying to like, or they trying to figure out how to like bring him back to. So he actually did one thing that no one could even imagine. He actually used his power of reality to like change his own genetics into like more like his own, back to his style, like his own self. As he's now he's still, or he doesn't, or he can turn on or off his voice at any time, like his Sonic Screech one. As it was painful process, as the Avengers are trying to hold him still because how painful he is, or how much pain he is in. So yeah, the Spider-Man is, or actually accidentally transformed himself into the Spider Hulk. Hold on, let me show you what Spider Hulk looks like. Into this one. So, yeah. And he's like, Spider Hulk smash! As he's like smashing up the entire lab, and he's having like a mental breakdown thing. Like he's going through like into like different versions of him, but with like the Avengers and everybody's powers. As he's like calmed himself, like he meditates, clear his thoughts. So, and then he turns back into his normal self as he says, "Huh, what's up, guys? Long time. Feels like long time, but I know that gives me such a bad headache when thinking about it." So yeah, they were freaking out. They hid to make sure that. But then he says, "Hey guys, what's up?" As yeah, they didn't think that it's possible to change his genetics back to like not to being a human, but more being like Spider-Man's powers. So yeah. And yeah, that is sad, isn't it? So yeah. And but every single day Screaming Mimi is having her dinner with Spider-Man. As yeah, she or the oh okay the her she sees she knows that he'll live two lives as Spider-Man and or it's really hard to live as Spider-Man and Peter Parker at different times. So yeah, Carnage part of her was yeah didn't like he says I know that you'll live in two different things. Yeah, as her and Spider-Man, they both or her and Peter Parker were dating, and Spider-Man and Screaming Mimi were dating each other's too. So yeah, as both of them walked up to Peter Parker and asked him, or Spider-Man too, yeah, to do like those things. Like they're both like trying to kill each other for his love. But Peter Parker or Spider-Man decided to say, "Hey, I know that I will pick both of you." Okay? As her and Screaming Mimi were like is interest yeah. So they now it's a time skip to the future where they had their kids. Yeah, it's a time skip, so some of you might not know. It's boring or skip over the boring parts and yeah, to be more interesting. So, yeah. And their two sons. They're actually, yeah. They're both two sons. Are one was, or actually Carnage Girl, or I forget her name. Her had, looks like him, but more like ghost thing, but with red. And the other had like the her and Black Bolt's powers put together. And yeah. And then all that stuff. And yeah. This is the end of the video. Oh, I'm just leaving it off and no cliffhangers. If you want me to do more like or more of these what if Marvels videos, tell me in the comments below. And yeah. And huge shout outs to Marvels. They are sponsoring this video. So, or last two videos, or this one and the one before. So, on that side note, let's review what their characters, what their personalities in that I gave him. Well, he has Spider-Man's personality, but he also can't speak like a Black Bolt, or he can't speak at all. So yeah, and yeah, and the screaming Mimi in this what if grew more attached to Spider-Man than in the canon or anything. So yeah. Uh, he plus Nick Fury doesn't like the freak shows to go out. Like Spider Screamer, her is Spider-Man, but from this what if. So yeah, and and his powers, Spider Screamer's powers, is like what I said, everybody's powers. Like, he has Black Bolt's and Screaming Mimi's voice. Like, they're Sonic Blair things. And he has Thanos' infinity powers. Like, Infinity Stones powers. He could turn his body into goo. And, like, he's basically the overpowered character in every. Like, I don't think in Hulk or Doomsday or anyone could even beat him. And also, reason why I threw in Spider Hulk is because I really miss like those characters in back then. Like just give them their own movies and that we all forgot about and be like, oh, I'm going to create this character that was from the comics not so long ago. And in this What If, too, it was very important detail that I'm throwing in. So if you don't want to hear it, that's okay. Just mute it until I like clicked on Modocs. So yeah, the he says to Modoc, like off screen, he says, how about we do something more collaborant? Like, how about we turn like someone that our enemy into our soldier? And yeah, so Modoc agrees and Loki agrees. So yeah, and hilarious part, I was gonna put Helsing or like the sister of Thor, huh, in this What If, but I'm like, yeah, but I try to make sure that she's not attached to this version because that would be like pretty scary to me or probably to you audience. So yeah, and reason why that I'm doing this What If Spider-Man was or has Black Bolt's powers is because it came to me like in a dream. I got all my what ifs from my dreams world. So yeah. So now that's what all the people should do. So now we just need. Sure. Actually, who do you want me to do next? Do you want me to do what if Thor was or has the Iron Man's armor? Or have like so yeah, tell me in the comments. I'm listening to ya. So yeah. So now feels very short, but the I I was trying to think about using Black Bolt in something, but then that happens. So yeah, and reason why that I threw those three in, because they need their own movie too, of how they or like rebooted one, like they were just humans with those abilities, and yeah, and I just noticed, why does that big guy look like Colossus from X-Men? Or I forget what they're called, or what he's called. But just it just looks similar, but with just like Spider-Man's logo on it. And why does he look like the Spike from um the X-Men Evolution and the blue guy? Why does he look like that Spike from X-Men Evolution? And then we got ghost. It looks like he been indoors too long with just yeah. So yeah, and the reason why I chose Loki in it is because I wanted some like Loki powers to be like fused with the chemical with like used like Black Bolt's genetics. Yeah. So yeah. So now we will end this video at 40 point something. I don't know what I've been told, but I do know why. Sorry, I was just singing. Okay? So, if you start hearing me sing, please hit that like button, share, subscribe. And before okay? So, and streaming Mimi, I know that I said that she's really attached to, like, in this what if, I'm changing her, like, backstory instead of, like, I don't know what her original story was, but I'm changing it to she was just a teenage girl with, like, inhuman powers. And she met Peter Parker. And so she became. So that's why she became, like, Screaming Mimi. Because she. To be a hero, not a villain. I'm changing that part too. Because she wanted to impress as Peter Parker. Sorry. So, yeah. And she. I no, in this what if? She was with the Avengers and all that stuff. Oh. And yeah. But the. And she also. Sorry if I'm, like, trying to think. So, yeah. So she was. When she heard that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, because she saw him get bit by that radioactive spider. And, yeah, with her classmate that she doesn't fully like. As, yeah. She knew that he was the right person. So, yeah, that's what to tie into this what if. So, now we just need to think about, or how long has this been? Okay. So, I know I said 40, but yeah, something. So, now we are at, I think, 40. So, And Loki in this what if, I'm changing his more like attitude to more of like, all right, come on, you guys, let's just take Spider-Man and then turn him into that stuff. So yeah, this is a parallel universe, and yeah, and he has like frost giants with him at all times. So yeah. Plus, Black Bolt respects Spider-Man, Hulk, and Thor. And yeah, Inhumans really like them. So yeah. Now, and so that's why I'm doing this right now before I forget. So, you spider lovers here, there we go. A ultimate spider eater called Spider Screamer. So, yeah. He starts training on his powers, and yeah. So, bye bye, peace out, y'all, and have a good night or